Hey Waffle Gang, I do hope you are well. My name is Mark and today we're checking out some more Reddit stories, and if you do love a Reddit story, why not consider hitting that like, subscribe, maybe that notification bell too. Let's crack on with today's first story. Much love guys. Now today's first story comes from Powerful Profession and says, a friend, 29 male, has made a serious accusation against my 27 male girlfriend, 26 female. It starts. I don't know what to think. The situation is that a buddy I've known for a few years, who is dating another friend of mine, has informed me that my girlfriend that I've known for 8 months is lying about her occupation. He is an EMT, and she claims to be a nurse at a certain hospital in our city. EMT buddy swears up and down there is no way she works there. This is really shocking to me. She's in scrubs all of the time. I picked her up from the hospital she claims to work at. She has medical books all over her apartment, etc. EMT buddy and my girlfriend have only met once on a double date with my other friend. They did talk shop a little bit, and he's basing this accusation on that one conversation. He told me he would bet money she had never stepped foot on the ward she claims to work in. For reference, she says she's a psych nurse at this prestigious hospital. An EMT buddy asked her which unit she worked on. Apparently there are two at this hospital, the East and West unit. He tested her by asking, do you work on the North or South? And she said North, and that she referred to patients being violent as code grey, and that is not the terminology used at that hospital. There were more small technical details he claims she got wrong, like their nurses' stations being open and not enclosed spaces. Things like that. On one hand, why would she lie about being a nurse? But also, what does he gain from lying about her being a nurse? I don't know jack about the medical profession, to be frank. This whole thing makes me feel crazy. How do I even bring this up? A commenter says, you can easily look up her license status by googling nursing license verification in your state, then simply enter her name. It will tell you what kind of license she has and how long she's been licensed in your state. If she doesn't hold a license, you have a starting point for conversation. Many people who work in healthcare facilities wear scrubs. It doesn't mean they have any direct care responsibilities. Also, should be required to have a photo ID with her credentials listed on it. You can settle the question by asking to see her name badge. Not that platypus reply saying this is exactly it. I'm literally looking at my nursing professors now, and I can find all their licenses. Also, has she said that she's gotten her nursing degree? Did she do a bachelor's program or an associate's? Like, you should be able to ask to see her degree, and she should have a copy. You could ask to see a graduation pin. Nurses go through a pinning ceremony at the end of their time in school, and most people keep their pins. I think she's lying to you because she sees prestige in being a nurse. Nurses are considered the most trusted professionals in the US. You've definitely seen those sappy bumper stickers and memes about how nurses are angels. We all have. She'll 100% try to tell you that phone call today led to you not finding her because of privacy regulations. She may even say it's because of HIPAA. Ask to see her badge. Ask her for a license number. If she tries to claim that she doesn't have these things, she's making excuses. Your badge literally taps you into a different hospital wings and elevators, and some places even let you use yours to tap into the charting system. Opie replies saying she told me she has a BSN. I can't find that she's licensed in our state. Not that platypus replies that saying, edit to add more because I can't seem to shut up today. I looked up some of my classmates on the state registry who are working as CNAs or MAs, and their license info isn't showing up. I wouldn't doubt that if you've picked her up from work and she does actually work there. She's a tech or something and was lying to seem prestigious. Opie says, oh, she talks so much shit about techs. I think she'd rather die than cop to being a tech. Not that platypus says, what kind of medical books does she have in her house? Like Grey's Anatomy or like Hone and Focus on Adult Health, Medical Surgical Nursing 2nd edition. Are they books that make her look fancy or books she may have used in school? Medical books is pretty generic. Opie says, well, she has a bunch of them. I know she has a DSM and physician's desk reference. I reckon she reads them a lot because those are always on the coffee table. She has a whole bookshelf full of books about diseases and medications. Skittles and Whiskey says, Call when she's supposed to be working and ask for her. If she works there, she'll answer and you can bring her food or coffee or something. If she doesn't, there's a communication error in your relationship that needs to be addressed. I wouldn't 100% be positive on your friend's knowledge due to the differences in their roles/jobs. Opie says she's supposed to be working right now until 7. I'm gonna call. Thanks. Skittles and Whiskey replies that saying, be prepared to buy her that coffee if she's working, lol. Wishing you all the best. P.S. We want an update. Opie says, well, I called up there and at first they thought I was asking about a patient and they said they couldn't talk about them without their code. And I said no, she works there, and the woman I spoke with said no one with that name works there. I asked about the other unit and she said she told me she knows everyone who works in psych. I thought maybe she goes by a different name, so I started to describe her and the lady got upset and told me she had to go. I guess she thought I was fucking with her. I don't know what to think. Wandering around replies saying, damn, that's going to be a hard conversation. Be prepared to get backlash and redirection. Stick to the point. She's lying, and for what reason? It sounds like the end of a relationship. Can you imagine what would have happened if there was a genuine medical emergency? A very scary thought. Opie says, I don't understand why someone would go through so much effort to lie about being a nurse. If she's lying about it, I'm going to hold off on any judgment until I talk to her in person. So, sometime later, OP comes in with that update and says, well, this chick is batshit insane. Mystery solved. She doesn't work at the nice hospital. She works at a not-so-nice hospital and not as a nurse but as a phlebotomy technician, or whatever the fuck. She failed out of nursing school and is seriously obsessed. She said she got a TBI her 3rd year into her bachelor's program and was unable to finish. And I'm assuming TBI is traumatic brain injury, possibly. I may have forgiven all of that, but it's clear she has a tenuous, at best, grasp on reality and went on a bizarre rant about how she could be a doctor, how she saves lives. She's a genius. She knows more than anyone in the world when it comes to the medical field. She claims she could perform surgery on people, that she had healing powers, that she's the greatest person in the world, just on and on. Seriously, unhinged type shit. I had to tap out because she was really scaring me. I've never been in such close proximity to someone having a mental breakdown. I wasn't supposed to see her until yesterday, and I ambushed her at her apartment. Finally, I just had to leave. I feel bad about confronting her. I probably shouldn't have left her alone at all after that. And sometime later again, OP had their own Am I the Arsehole post, which was titled Am I the Arsehole, for contacting my ex-girlfriend's estranged relatives to handle her. OP said, this is a really long story that I must condense for character limit. Hope the sense of it all is intact. My ex-girlfriend deceived me for our entire relationship. She told me she was a very important charge nurse with a BSN and worked at a prestigious hospital in our area. Here in reality, she is not a nurse at all, but a phlebotomy technician, and not at a prestigious hospital either. She had a total breakdown when I confronted her about all of this, and ended up getting put on an involuntary psych hold. I do not know how she did it, but she got herself released after only 2 days, and is completely off the rails. She broke into my house. I came home from work the other day, and she was in my shower. Not taking a shower, just chilling there with my cat. It really fucking freaked me out. She ran off before the cops came. They couldn't find her. She moved here a few months before we started dating, and I didn't know any of her family. After she broke into my house, I did some internet sleuthing and tracked down her parents and older brother. I was able to make contact with her mum because they have a landline with a listed number. I told her the situation. I gave her all the information I knew about my ex. Her mum thanked me very much. Apparently my ex went ghost on her family about a year ago. Her mum told me they would take care of it and just wanted her to come back home. Her brother called me very frantic shortly after I got off the phone with her mum, and I talked to him for a while. He said he was flying out first thing to hunt my ex down. That was yesterday. I was satisfied and relieved with the response. I spoke to some friends today about it, and they think I did too much and shouldn't have involved her family because I don't know the dynamic. They could be abusive and got ghosted for good reason, my good friend said. Honestly, I didn't think about that at the time, and now I feel shitty. So there were some questions after this one. Someone said, is your cat okay? I don't want to freak you out any more than you already are, but you might consider a visit to the vet to make sure she didn't poison your cat or harm it in any other way. Opie says thank you for your concern. He seems fine. My ex always loved him and I never thought she was capable of hurting an animal. But then I never thought she'd lied to me for 8 months or break into my house. So yeah, I'll take him to the vet. Good looking out. Sam says the odds are her family knows best how to help her, and it's in her best interest they know. You have no knowledge of any abuse, so while it's possible, it's not on you. You made the best call you could with the information you had for both her and your safety. Opie says her mum and brother seem like decent people on the phone, but on the other hand, no one ghosts their entire family for a year for no reason. They said she ran off right at the beginning of 18 and no one had heard from her since. Perpetual says not the arsehole. It sounds like the girl needs far more help than you can give her. Based on your verbiage, you found out from the mother that she's been estranged from her family for a year. It's not your responsibility to take strange hypothetical things into account before considering your own safety. If someone broke into my house and was handling my animals, I'd do whatever I could to ensure it wouldn't happen again. Opie said, my friend told me I should have let the police handle it as it's their job. They think by doing what I did, I made the situation worse if she turns out not to be on good terms with her own family. Not just for her, but they're worried she could retaliate against me for doing that. Opie on how she broke in. Opie says, well, I live in a pretty good area. I don't use the deadbolt. Either she had a key to my place that I didn't know about, or she picked the lock somehow. I think Opie, and I know it's difficult because we cover a lot of stories where people have separated from their families for very good reason, and it would be wrong to get them back in contact. But Opie had someone who was clearly having a severe mental health crisis, who was getting herself released from psychiatric holds, and who had broken into his house, was sitting in the shower with his cat, is a terrifying thought. And I think, the friend telling you that you were wrong for doing so and that you did too much by contacting their family, I think that's really easy said when you're not the one who's finding the delusional ex in their shower. Someone who, let's face it, is already escalated to criminal behavior. And then very clearly it becomes Opie's own safety, which is the priority. But now I'm going to turn this one to you guys. What do you guys make of this situation? Let us know your thoughts down in the comments below. And let's move on to another story. This one's from the Am I the Arsehole Here subreddit that says, sorry, but today our house is not the house. For reference, we, me, 45 male, wife, 44 female, kids 12, 10, 6, are always the host of our kids friends group. Our 12-year-old son plays club soccer, AAU basketball, so often the worlds merge like today for his birthday. I myself grew up one of 4 boys, so I'm fully aware of a rambunctious full household. We always overstock snacks and food, knowing we usually have 4+ kids in our house with friends coming over, ride shares, and overnights. Typically, I don't care. Actually love the extra company. Both my sons and daughters' friends are respectful and a pleasure to be around, but I'm starting to wonder if our openness is being taken advantage of. As I mentioned, today is our 12-year-old's birthday. A friend who is here often but usually without planning already slept over last night to attend the party. Okay, cool, no problem. Well, this morning my wife wakes up with a fever and our twins are both chucking buckets. My wife and the twins stay home from the party, which was at a different location, and devastated her. While at the party, the parents of the friend who had slept over the previous night asked if he could sleep at our house again tonight. This was never a part of the plan. I responded immediately no, and explained the situation with people being sick. I can see they read the text, but no response from parents. After the party, I drive friend to his house, and sure enough, he's locked out and nobody home. I bring him to our house, texting the parents they need to come get their kid. Again, read, no response. It's been 2 hours now, and according to the kid's parents' Facebook, they're at a brewery. I'm livid. Am I the arsehole to tell these parents we're not their babysitter and to come get their kid? I feel bad because he's a good kid and friends with my son. But if a sick wife and unpredictable puking twins ain't a line in the sand, I don't know what is. Someone suggested Opie shouldn't take it out on the kid, but give the parents a talk. Opie says, yeah, we're fully aware now there might be issues at home, especially considering the given circumstances. Another commenter says, this is how good friendships can die. You start having the kids less and less because of terrible parents. Not the arsehole. OP responds saying, this is actually what I want to avoid, but I feel as they get older, the kid is only a child, is going to get worse. Someone says OP should take the kid to the parents at the brewery. OP says, as much as I wanted to do this, my family's sickness became a point where I wasn't comfortable leaving them alone. Another commenter says, that is when you send them a text that they have 20 minutes to get there, or your next call is to the police for child abandonment. Then after 20 minutes you call the police. If that ends the friendship, well, that is too bad. Not the arsehole. Another commenter says, comment on their Facebook post. Hey, we told you this morning when you asked that your child could not stay over again tonight because our family is sick. Come get him right now. Public shame can go a long way. And another commenter says, there's a reason why that kid is a regular unexpected guest at your house. Whatever you do, document everything. Save messages, screenshots, notes, whatever. I suspect that record will come in useful to someone at some point. So it was a short while after OP updated the post and said, wow. First of all, thanks for all the respectful comments and feedback. A lot of people asked for updates and I wasn't quite sure how to do so. So here it is. After reading some of the comments, I felt like calling CPS or the police was a nuclear option that would ultimately lead to negative long-term consequences to both the friend and my son. He's a good kid. Keeping him here and safe is not a burden, nor do I think the parents are chronically neglectful. My response to the parents was basically reiterating all your comments, although I didn't lay out a specific time period or third-party involvement. I did make it very clear future engagements would be severely restricted going forward if the disrespect from the parents, not kid, continued. I was apologized to in person several times when they showed up. An excuse was coming and I quickly interrupted stating, I like your kid. He's a good kid. Don't take us away from him. That must have struck a nerve with mum because I could see her fighting a tear. Hopefully that sinks in and we can go forward from this. Again, thank you all. Someone suggested to OP that it might have been a safe haven for the kid. OP says being thought of a safe haven for other kids is probably the greatest achievement I'll get. Thank you. And a lot of people on the back of this one suggesting that the parents probably didn't learn anything from this, but I did like OP's comment towards them that said, I like your kid, don't take us away from him. I thought that was pretty brilliant and I felt like it set a clear boundary while also communicating that her actions were hurting her child, not just inconveniencing the hosts. And I hope the parents do recognize the extent of their behavior and do change it. But in the end, I think OP sounds like a good dude, someone that's willing, to have that safe space for that child if they ever need it. For whatever reason, just to get out of their own home and spend time with OP's family, which I think personally is a lovely thing. But now I'm going to turn this one to you guys. What do you guys make of this situation? Let us know your thoughts down in the comments below. I just want to say a huge thank you for being here today, getting involved in the stories you'll love, your support and your time. Your time is so incredibly important, and to spend, 20 minutes or whatever amount you spend here every single day is really, really appreciated. So thank you so much, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one. Take care and much love.